clap. And we'll know at that point exactly where we're at. Hey, everybody, let's get started. Let's go. It's Title Adam. I'm in the house. Hey, everybody, listen, welcome back. It's Wednesday night, midweek, and I'm coming to you. It's been too long, so I said, let's get the microphones out. Let's get the cameras out. Let's get them set up, and let's bring something out. Let's bring some content. Because the reality is that I'm here to create, I'm here to share with you, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to. I actually had dealt with some equipment issues that I had to address. And the problem was that I was shooting incredible content, but that my laptop was underpowered. And so I was finding that my cameras were constantly dropping out. I was finding that my audio wasn't capturing correctly. And I would go back in post was an absolute nightmare because of buffering issues, because of science that I don't understand. Okay. What I want to do is I want to turn this on. I want to talk into it. I want to look at you and I want to share a message with you. And then, I don't want to mess with all of the editing stuff, but it is part of it. And I'm a one-man show and I'm a full-time licensed title insurance agent. Guess what else I am this week? I'm Mr. Mom. That's right. Jade had to fly up to Indiana, and so I am here with the kids, and we're holding it down, babe. I'm actually recording this while the kids are watching Rose because we are working as a team, as a unit, and that's what we do. We love you very much, and we cannot wait to have you back. I have to say that Jade is a part of everything that I do, and she's a very special part of all of our lives here in Florida and in Indiana. And we're glad that the family in Indiana has an opportunity to see you, but we sure miss you at home. We can't wait for you to come back. So that said, let's get down to business because we are here on a Wednesday night. I'm in the house. I'm in Lehigh Acres. And before we get started, I feel like I need to say it. If you're buying, selling, building, refinancing, hey, if you're doing a deal in Florida, tag in Title Adam. I'm local and licensed, and I'd love to help. I was telling you that we had some issues with our equipment because we were taking some really great content and we were having issues with the equipment. It's something that would just constantly bring you down and get you into a spot where you didn't even want to set up the time to do something with someone, to have them commit their time after work, to have them do, move their schedule around to come in and play with you, play DJ with you, play podcaster with you. And then when they do come in, it's like all of a sudden, hey, okay, listen, we just spent an hour. We had an amazing conversation, but no one's ever going to know because it didn't record and we can't share any of it on social media. But that said, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the memories. And we go from there. I had to really sit there and think. I had to ask Jade and had to make a decision. What do we want to do here? And what do we really think is the right thing to do? And I'll tell you that after talking about it, we went out and got a new laptop, and the laptop is an absolute workhorse. It says something stupid on the lid here. It actually says Legion, and so I put a Title Adam magnet over that so that you can see something that makes a little bit more sense, because this is Title Adam. I'm in the house, baby, and I call it TAITH, T-A-I-T-H. Jade hates that, but I still use it because I'm an acronyms guy. The new laptop is absolutely amazing. It's got specs that I don't understand. It has processors that are fast enough to run games that my sons play. I feel that I am now fully powered and ready to go. And I'm currently testing this now. I'm running my OBSBot cams. I'm running a 2-cam setup in OBS. I'm running my Rodecaster Pro 2. I'm running the laptop, of course, lights, my mouse. I'm running... my phone is charging onto it right now. So we've got a high draw, but we're getting everything clear as far as I can see. It looks like the cameras are coming in great, and we'll just continue bopping down the road with that. Now, the other thing that I noticed tonight, though, was that when I set up into the conference room, we had an incredible echo. So what I did, and I can't swing the cameras around, but I went and I took every chair that I could find, these big conference room chairs you see me sitting in, and I wheeled them all in here. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chairs here in the conference room in Lehigh Acres. And that's absorbing some of the sound so that we can get talking a little bit here and not have so much of an echo. So new equipment is good. We had great equipment anyways, but we've got new equipment, and that is something that's going to allow us to capture the conversations coming in the rest of this year and moving forward. Now, We've got a lot of people that have said they want to come into the house. They're ready to have the conversation. They have something actually important to talk about. We had a kink where we couldn't communicate that message, and now we can do it with confidence. So give me a call, text me, send me a message. Listen, and if you're not already, I'm just going to go ahead and do the shameless ask. If you're not following, if you're not subscribed, help me out. It's free. I'm not asking you to pay a subscription. I'm not showing you pictures of my feet either, but I'd like your support. And if you're watching this video and you like the way that I'm talking, you like the style that I got, give me a quick follow, give me a quick comment, share, and a like. Whatever currency you can give me from a social media standpoint, I'll certainly appreciate. It means the world to me, and it's helped me build my business in a really, really big way, just by reaching out and meeting people here locally, but also statewide and throughout the world. I've talked to some people, some really cool people. So we've got the new equipment to really make this happen, and I'm excited to do it. Like I said, I'm here in Lehigh Acres, Southwest Florida, licensed in the state and happy to help you. There's 67 counties in Florida, so whichever one you're doing business in, I'm doing business with you. My name is Adam, and I do title. Adam@titleadam.com. Hit me up. Okay, well, we had a busy Q1, and that was the other reason that you hadn't heard a lot from me. Now, you know that I'm doing full-time title insurance, carrying some weight here, guys. We've had a pretty busy year. I know that I talked to some competitors that are saying, Adam, I'm not busy. I don't have anything going on. And I'm not sure what the issue is there, because to be honest with you, we've done 150 units year to date here in Florida. That's a lot of deals. And I'll tell you what, my name is at the top of that list because it's alphabetical. My name is Adam. But I also carried 20% of the state's business for the company, and I'm proud of that. I work for Premier Reputation Title. We are a Florida, Michigan-based title insurance company. Our parent company, Reputation First Title, is up in Michigan, and Kim Tatora is the owner. She's an absolute rock star in title insurance. She came up in title insurance, and so she was brought up in the business and brought the business up. And she's constantly elevating the game, and it's somebody that I'm looking up to, and I want to be able to do business at that level that she's doing. The numbers that Kim is producing in title insurance policy is absolutely amazing. And when you meet her and when you interact with her, you go, oh my gosh, she's just totally relatable. She's absolutely somebody that you could just talk to and that understands the business and make it make sense, right? Because title insurance is a highly technical business, but it's also about what? It's about insuring past risk. It's not about insuring what might happen in a storm down the road. Title insurance is about saying, I'm going back in the chain of title. Why not say it like that? But title insurance is about that. I'm insuring past risk. For one premium, single premium, you pay it one time, and you have coverage for the rest of your life. So it's been a busy Q1. As I said, I've talked with a lot of competitors that have said that they've not been doing a lot. But let me tell you something. As far as it goes with Title Adam, I'm writing everything with Westcor. I'm writing everything with Westcor this year. Mario Wagwarneri is my rep. He's my friend. We are partners in success, and it is great to do business with him. We have been writing a lot of policies. I've written some vacant land, but really a lot of my products this year, I've been getting back into that home purchase with a mortgage. And I love that product. Anyone that's working in title insurance knows why they love that, because it's a simultaneous issue. It's a nice size deal, and you're getting to work with a lender. And when you get to work with that lender, you may have an opportunity to get some refi business down the road. So anyways, we've had an opportunity to do a few of those this year. Q1 was, like I said, a big, big quarter. And we're looking for more of that as we go into Q2 and beyond. Now, when we talk a little bit about the real estate market, we believe from research that we've done that no matter what happens, and we're going to go through this in just a little bit, a couple of updates, no matter what happens, we believe that we're going to continue to write just as many deals, if not more units. But we believe that we may have, and I'll turn the camera so we could say it, we believe that we may have a reduced deal size. So we may be we may be staying just as busy, but man, we may be writing more business than we were to do the same amount of premium remit. All right. Think about what that means. All right. You would sell three $100,000 houses instead of one $300,000 house. And I think we might see more of that. I think we might see some short sales coming up. I think we might see some more investors coming in once the market should soften just enough to leave some meat on the bone for them to come back in. You know, they don't want to pay the retail. They want to get the deal. They want to get the buy. They want to get that seller who is motivated, who wants to make a move, who's made a decision that they want to get out for whatever reason, and they want to move on, and that investor that wants to get in there and do that. And guess what? I'm finding myself to be that investor for the first time in a long time. I've been waiting for a long time because I thought that I missed out on that. I thought that I had missed the opportunity to get a deal on a house in Southwest Florida, because I tell you, everything, it used to be west of 41, then it was west of 75. If you live in Florida, it's expensive now. I live in Lehigh Acres. I love it out there. But we were seeing price per square foot going up to $250, $260, $280, $300 per square foot. Some people were asking in Lehigh Acres. That's a lot of money per square foot. So when I start seeing things come down to $160, $155, $147, short sales non-approved, I start getting excited about it. I start thinking, I'm going to acquire something. I'm going to play Monopoly here, and I'm going to stack some chips up. I don't have a lot of chips to stack. But as I'm helping buyers and sellers here in town, well, I've got a couple. I've got ways that I can try. I've got partners that work in finance that believe that they could help. I believe in real estate. I believe that the volatility creates opportunity. And I think that if you're somebody who's been thinking about it, you should think long and hard about it, but you should act, because right now we're just seeing a really, really great market. So as I've been busy doing deals, I'm watching to see what's happening. And I don't know, like I said, exactly what the future holds, but I know historically what has happened here in Southwest Florida. I know what the general annual outlook is based on the time of the year, the month of the year. I know what the outlook of the cycle is because I've worked and lived through multiple cycles now in Southwest Florida. Mortgage lender, real estate agent, title insurance agent. Listen, I've sat at the table in just about every seat. I'm not an appraiser. I'm not a surveyor. I've got a killer surveyor, though. Let me say this, and just a quick plug for my buddy, because he's my friend. His name's Mark Lechner, and he is with Target Surveying and Target Lien Search. And I told you that Mario's my guy with Westcor, but Mark is my guy for surveys and lien searches, and we do everything together. We do everything together. In the event that we didn't do the deal together, it's because there was a reason why. Because I trust him, because he knows the business, and because he cares about the business. And prices are competitive. We know all of that. I wouldn't do business with someone that wasn't. I love Mark Lechner. I want to have him on to the show with me in the house. This is a solo one tonight, just a rant, but I wanted to give a shout out to him because he does a lot of really great work for me, and his team is really great too. Another vendor that I've been doing a lot of work with that I'd love to give a shout out to is Alex. Alex is at Elite Notary Group. This guy is so fun to work with. He makes doing deals fun. Alex, thank you for everything that you did in Q1 for us, because I tell you, he makes remote online notary signings so easy. We send him the documents. We send him the information for the client. We say, listen, here's what we want to do. Buy on or before this date. This guy turns them and burns them like you wouldn't believe. He provides you with biometric data information, validation of ID, knowledge-based authentication, top-of-the-line, high-tech stuff. Excuse me. High-tech stuff that allows us to really have security, but also allows us to have the convenience to transact business globally 24 hours a day. Yeah, I think that that's something that you should be interested in, all right? So whatever kind of a deal you're doing, because I've done the remote online notary signing now. I've done on purchases. I've done it on refinances. I've done it for vacant land. I've done it for financed transactions. It's a great way It is a great way to handle it. And the reality is I'd love to have you at the closing table. I want you to come in. I want you to come into this closing table in Lehigh Acres. I want you to hold the key that has my logo and my phone number on it. I want you to come in here and do that. And then I want to take a picture with you. But if you would prefer to sign in your jammies on an iPad on vacation somewhere, I'm not going to be mad at you. And we can be friends and you can give me a Google review and that's it. The way of the future is to leverage the technology that we've got, and remote online notary is the way of the future. Let me tell you, it is way more secure than sending out John Notary, who we don't even know, to sign the document, or having the buyer and seller go and take their documents to a notary somewhere, maybe a bank, maybe a drugstore, maybe, a post office, an embassy, and say, it's on you. Go ahead and get them notarized and send it back. That was foolish. We should have never done that. We should have never done that. There was a lot of fraud there. There was a lot of stuff that we were as an industry, maybe we were naive. And then we got serious about it. We went back to it, and now we do take it serious. We take it very serious. One of the most important things that I'll do for you as a title insurance agent is I'll verify that the person that's selling the property is actually bona fide, wants to sell the property, that it's not being stolen from underneath them. Think about that. Think about that for a second, And I go, okay, so now it's the 8th of April. We're past Easter. Traditionally, now season is over.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. The market is white hot right now. Showing requests are up. Contracts are coming in. There's activity. It's brisk. Prices are dropping a little bit. Prices are adjusting a little bit. Let's use the word adjust. We know it's cute. We know what it means. Prices are leveling out. The people that weren't realistic are getting realistic. The people that weren't realistic, that aren't getting realistic, will sit. That's it. I'm talking to a lot of agents that have said, I'll pass on that overpriced listing right now because I can't be bothered with it. If they're not realistic and they don't want to sell, I don't want to list it because I don't affect a commission until such time that I find myself at a closing table. And if somebody's unrealistic with their ask, there's no point in me putting a sign in their yard and associating my name with overpriced inventory in a market where people are really trying to make moves. Season's over?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's going to be a busy summer. We're going to see the rains kick in here pretty soon, and it's going to get really, really busy here, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Open houses, in the summertime are hit and miss, but there's the seasonal dilation of the buyer pipeline has changed. I grew up in Southwest Florida, okay? I went to Bonita Springs Elementary. I went to Bonita Middle School. I went to Estero High School. I know this area very well. I say that because I've been here for 40 years. When I was growing up, my dad had a transmission shop in Naples, Gulf Coast Transmissions. It was at 100 Goodlet Road North, just outside of 10 City. And I remember that we would talk every night at the dinner table about the day. And at this time in every year when I was a kid, people were gone home. And when I was a kid in the 80s, season was like a light switch. So it turned on after Thanksgiving and off the day after Easter. And then over years, it kind of got to where season became more like a spigot, a faucet. Okay. And that word, some people go, well, what? A faucet. And so more and more people basically would come down a little earlier every year, and then they might stay a little bit later. And they say, there's still a little snow on the ground after Easter. Maybe we could look to go back May 15th. And depending on the year, some years it gets really hot really early. Some years it's actually the rain doesn't start until a little bit later. But I tell you that to tell you that season is not really what it was 40 years ago. And it really isn't what it was even 20 years ago. It's 2026. the market is global, the market is connected, the market is syndicated. And I can now do dollhouse tours. I can now do 3D virtual tours. I can now put on a virtual reality headset and sit in the living room of a luxury home. And I bet that there's even a way that I could hear the beach. You know, buying real estate, it used to be these books that you would get, these magazines that you would get at the checkout line. They were like Homes and Land, and they would have, basically it was an auto trader for houses, because it would have the house, it would have a short description, have a telephone number, and every time you would call it, they would say, well, that one's gone, but we can get, let's set a buyer appointment and we can maybe figure out something else that would work for you. And those don't really work anymore. And if they did, then they would be this thick and you couldn't lift them off the table. And I took that one from Denny Grimes. Let me give him some credit. Denny was a mentor of mine when I was selling real estate. I sold at a high level. And when I met Denny Grimes, he said to me, he said, how old was I when I met Denny Grimes? Because I was 34 when I got my real estate license. That was in 2014. And I'm going to drift here. I'm a weaver here, so we'll try to go back and post. But I got my real estate license in 2014. I hung with Joe Pavich Sr. for a year. And at that point, I went to hang my license with Denny Grimes. At that time, it was Denny Grimes and Company in Gateway. And when I met Denny Grimes, he said to me, look, you got the hair. Because I had the faux hawk at the time. I rocked it incredibly well. He said, you got the hair, you got the jacket with the tee, you got the jacket. He goes, you got the hair, you got the jacket, you got the jeans, you got the loafers with no socks. You look like a Keller Williams team lead. That was what Denny Grimes said to me when I first met him. And I took that as a compliment, because I believe that Denny had a lot of respect for Keller Williams team leads. He's a Keller Williams agent today. And I toast him because he sells a lot of real estate here in Southwest Florida, but he also has coached a lot of realtors. And I would tell you that when I was selling real estate, when I look back, I sold a lot of homes, but I sold the most homes under Denny Grimes. I sold the most homes in my career in the shortest period of time under Denny Grimes. And I worked very hard for him, but I learned a lot from him. And I tell you what, I was very successful after a short internship with him. So I bring that up. I don't know why I brought that up, because I'll have to go back and try to remember why I brought that up. I know why, because I stole an analogy from him, which was that but he delivered it so well. He delivered it so well. Because he would say, he said, let me see if I can think of how he said it. He said, well, that they had the Homes and Land magazine and that those sold homes for a long time. But that those don't work anymore. And if they did, they would be this big and you wouldn't be able to lift them off the table. That's not what works. So let me just say, that's how I got onto the Denny Grimes thing. Denny had some killer scripts. And he still does. I see him online. I watch his content. Denny Grimes, I think you're great, man. I'd love to connect with you again and really just let's go mega powers, man. It's Title Adam in the house. But I love connecting with top real estate agents, brokers, mortgage lenders, homeowners insurance guys, surveyors, appraisers, CPAs, accountants, graphic designers. I don't care. But I want to be with the best of the best. Whatever you do, I want to be with the best of the best. And he had some really great stuff, and I still occasionally will take note. And I actually, not been that long since I actually texted Denny and said, I'm working on something. What do you think about this? And he's always been a gentleman and has given me his ear and his coaching. So thanks, Denny. Hope you're doing good. I want to give you a quick RPCRA update. This is a Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association. Now, I want to say I am an affiliate, a proud affiliate of RPCRA, As Premier Reputation Title's licensed title insurance agent, I'm a proud affiliate of RPCRA, and I'll be speaking to their education committee to give a presentation on Lehigh Acres in May. And I want to thank my friend Roy Caballo, who got me in on that. He got me hooked up with a couple of great people over there at the board who said, hey, we want to put together something to teach real estate agents about Lehigh Acres. What can you do? I put together an outline, shared it with them. I think that they're going to be very happy with it. I think that the real estate agents that have an opportunity to attend are going to be very happy. And I'm going to do my very best to keep it real. Now, I love Lehigh Acres. I moved here after Hurricane Ian, so I'm learning it like a lot of you. But the thing is, I live it every single day. My office is here on Lee Boulevard. My kids go to school here. I shop. I get my groceries and my gas here. So, I go to the park here, and I love Lehigh. I love all corners of it, and I'm learning more about it. So here's some updates from RPCRA, just a couple of items, and we'll try to keep you in the loop. The number one item was court decision on FinCEN real estate rule. On March 19th, 2026, a federal district court in Texas vacated the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, residential real estate anti-money laundering rule, holding that the agency exceeded its statutory authority under the Bank Secrecy Act and violated the Administrative Procedure Act. As a result, the rule had been set aside. FinCEN posted a statement noting, quote, in light of a federal court decision, reporting persons are not currently required to file real estate reports with FinCEN and are not subject to liability if they fail to do so while the order remains in force, end quote. Neither the Department of Justice nor FinCEN has yet indicated whether there is a plan to appeal the ruling. DOJ may also seek a stay of the decision if they choose to appeal, which could reinstate compliance obligations until an appellate court rules. So this was this whole thing, man, where it was like, get ready. You know what it was? It was like Y2K. FinCEN was like Y2K. FinCEN was like Y2K because there was a ton of preparation. There was a ton of hype. There was a ton of just absolute certainty that it was going to be a problem. And I think that the rule made it then 19 days before it was struck down. So FinCEN, kiss my ass. I'm glad we're not doing it. It was causing a lot of documentation requirements. It was also costing some extra money on every file. So some of that was third-party fee, and some of that was because we had to report. So I'm glad to see that it's struck down, but if it should come back, if it should rear its ugly head, we will let you know. I'm always going to be a fan of less regulation. It's just me personally. I want people to have an opportunity to transact business without suffocating them with regulation. Now, that said, FinCEN was designed to prevent and to strangle the money laundering that remains in our country. And there's not a lot of it left because the government has tightened up their review of assets. But I would look for, at some point, them to come back and at least look to revisit it. That's FinCEN for you. Next up, NAR weighs in on coming soon listings. As major real estate portals roll out new ways to display coming soon and pre-market listings to consumers, the National Association of Realtors reaffirmed its stance on transparency as the industry debates how listings should be shared and who gets to see them first. For realtors, the issue goes to the core of how business is conducted, whether listings are widely available through the MLS or selectively marketed through private networks. In a statement released last week, NAR emphasized that the MLS remains the foundation of a fair and competitive marketplace, supporting policies that promote equal opportunity, clear market visibility, and broad exposure for sellers. The statement follows new initiatives from portals and brokerages to expand pre-market listing visibility, raising questions about how those efforts fit within existing MLS rules and NAR's broader push to balance seller flexibility with an open, consumer-focused marketplace. NAR. NAR. Do you like it? NAR. All right. Next up, new rule.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. NAR. And here we go. New rule. New rule loosens roof coverage standards. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are easing certain property insurance rules, a move federal officials say could help more deals move forward as insurance premiums climb nationwide. The updates announced by the Federal Housing Finance Agency in a press release allow lenders to accept actual cash value coverage for roofs on single-family homes and condos rather than requiring full replacement cost coverage in all cases. Let me say this different. I'm actually going to say it the same way. This is an important one. Now that I'm reading it, I want to say it one more time. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are easing certain property insurance rules, a move federal officials say could help more deals move forward as insurance premiums climb nationwide. I'm coming to you from Florida. The updates announced by the Federal Housing Finance Agency in a press release allow lenders to accept actual cash value coverage for roofs on single-family homes and condos rather than requiring full replacement cost coverage in all cases. ACV pays what the roof is worth at the time of the loss, factoring in depreciation rather than the cost to install a new one. Because older roofs are valued less, these policies typically come with lower premiums, which could ease upfront costs for some buyers. ACV policies typically cost less than replacement cost coverage, so the change is expected to reduce insurance premiums tied to mortgages backed by the government-sponsored enterprises. Borrowers will still need replacement cost coverage for the rest of the home, but the trade-off can be significant. If a roof is damaged, ACV coverage could leave the homeowner paying more out of pocket to fully replace it. You're damn right. This is where this is a real problem. Real estate licensees wishing to avoid post-roof damage exposure to liability are encouraged to let the purchaser's insurance agent explain the coverage and cost differences between the respective policies. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac also simplified condo insurance rules, including changes to deductible limits and eligibility standards, and removed a 2024 policy that the FHFA said slowed claims processing and raised costs. Wow. Oh, man. That is crazy. That is crazy. I want to make sure to talk about that. Holy crap. Think about that for a second now. Now, because in the interest of, I'm going to switch the cam on this one. In the interest of actually qualifying more people to move forward with deals, the government is allowing us now to say this. You only got to have coverage on the roof for what it's actually valued at. It's a real problem. It's a real problem, and here's why. You need replacement cost value. You need replacement cost value, man. If you have a storm come through, you need to know that you're getting a new roof. You got a roof that's 10 years old. And the insurance company says, well, you know what? It's a 25-year roof. And we have delivered to you each month a policy with a premium that is highly competitive, that allowed you to qualify for your mortgage and buy this property. And we've delivered you now coverage for the actual value. And now that there's been a problem, we're going to give you roughly half of the value of the roof. So now there's been a storm and you need a new roof and it's $25,000, but don't worry because we're going to give you $12,500. That's what your current roof was worth because it's already 10 years old. So we're going to give you the $12,500. And yeah, I don't know where you're going to get the other $12,500, but you got to do it. You got to put that new roof on. Because if you don't do it, then we're going to drop you because you now your roof is not an acceptable risk. This is something that this is my opinion now because I was a mortgage lender long before I was a real estate agent and long before I was a title insurance agent. I was a top producing mortgage lender. I did a ton of deals and I pride myself in deal structure. I pride myself in making the deal work, and that includes ability to repay. That includes DTI structure, all of that. But let me tell you, I would never, ever, ever tell a borrower, a customer or loved one, to skimp on their insurance coverage so that they can qualify for the deal. I'd rather them not qualify for the deal and walk away from it. Jeez Louise. I think that that's going to be a problem. So now what we'll find ourselves in is a conundrum where they're going to go like this. You only have to have actual value coverage. Okay, yeah, you only have to have the ACV. All right. The actual cash value is what you got to cover, but you have to have sufficient reserves in your checking account or savings account to make up the difference. I mean, that's what they do to HOAs. That's what they say to that's what they say to homeowners associations when they approve them. I think you're going to find here it's a constant push and pull because insurance agents want to write the policy and mortgage lenders want coverage. And no mortgage lender wants to go and take back a house to find out that there's no roof on it. So insurance is a must, especially in Florida. And I think that is a big thing that real estate agents would be very well advised to put their customers in the hands of a licensed insurance agent. Don't try to shop for them. Don't try to do any of that. Get them in the hands of somebody that can write them good coverage and protect them and that understands the difference between ACV and replacement cost, because those are two totally different things. And a lot of buyers, I think, probably go into deals and don't know that. And so we need to be very transparent with people so that they understand, dude, you're paying a fee every month in exchange for actual cash value, not full coverage. And there's a reason that they make you on your car that they make you have full coverage. There's a reason why when you take out a car loan, they make you have full coverage insurance on your car. It's because if there's a problem, they want to know that that car can be replaced. Replacement cost, And wow, that's a big update from the RPCRA. I want to thank Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association here for helping me with that. They send out some email updates occasionally, so that crossed my radar, and I thought I would share it with you. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's go. I told you a little bit about the opportunity I've got coming up to talk about Lehigh. What I've done is I've tried to create a presentation that would last about an hour, that would give an opportunity to talk about where Lehigh Acres has been, where Lehigh Acres is currently, and where it's headed tomorrow. If you've been studying this area, it's hot, guys. We've got development on the south side, which is 82. We got all kinds of development that's springing up on that corridor. And then you also have, of course, all of the action that's going on downtown. There is all kinds of growth. And so we'll see Lee close to 82 via Homestead, basically. And I wanted to have an opportunity, though, to put together a presentation that was going to give some information to real estate agents that they could say, I can sell here, I could live here, I could love here. And one of the things that Jade and I did was we watched this movie that was on YouTube about Lehigh Acres, and it was specifically about the crash. And I didn't live here during the crash, and I sold real estate in Southwest Florida during the recovery. So I worked for Jerry Museri, who was an investor. He had 10 real estate rentals down here in Lehigh Acres that I liquidated for him after the bust. And this documentary on YouTube, Jade and I watched it, and we were just like, we were loving it. We were digging it because it had a format where there was like some interviews and some footage, and you see the water tower that we know and love, and so to think about putting together a presentation that would draw upon that would add on that would flavor it a little bit, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to present that to the education committee there. I'm excited to help real estate agents, like I said, sell here, live here, and love here. And look for more of that to come. That'll be in May, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm with Premier Reputation Title as the affiliate there for title insurance. If you're buying, selling, building, refinancing, hey, if you're doing a deal in Florida, tag me in. I'm Title Adam, and I can't wait to help.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we've been talking a little bit about market volatility, and let's make no mistake about it. The market has been volatile. The market's been volatile. It's been hot, but it's been volatile. And I have seen in the first quarter of 2026, I have seen interest rates constantly terrorize the buyers down here and constantly just float around. The market's been really volatile, but let's just ask ourselves, why is it volatile? Well, we've got a few things going on right now. We've got war, and that is a big one. We've got war with Ukraine. We've got war in Iran. We've got war not war, but we got problems in Cuba. We got issues over threats in Taiwan. We've got all kinds of stuff globally, and I'm not here to get into all that. But what does war bring? War brings gas price fluctuations. It brings, food cost fluctuations. I mean, there's no question that everything this year cost more than it did last year. And that has caused some volatility in the market because every time gas goes up, and it recently breached $4 a gallon for the first time here in Southwest Florida that I've seen. It breached $4 a gallon. Right now it's at about $4.10 a gallon. And when those gas prices go up like that, you do start to feel it in the pocket. 5 cents, 10 cents, you might not feel as much, but when it starts going up, you do start feeling it in the pocket quite a bit. And that instability, I think, is a way that causes people to ask themselves where they're going to be in 6 to 12 months. And some people right now are stretched so thin that they couldn't tolerate gas going up $1 a gallon. It would really have a serious financial impact on their ability to repay their mortgage, their housing expense. And we're tough Americans. We're strong and we always figure out a way. But the reality is we don't know if we're going to be able to do it. We don't know if we're going to be able to have that stability, and we don't know if we're going to be able to make it. So we did see some fallout, some unexpected, unexplained fallout. And when you're working in Florida with an as-is contract, you're going to see that literally during their due diligence period. A buyer has the ability to cancel the contract for any reason whatsoever. Anything they don't like, they're able to get out of it. And at the same time, the seller is never obligated to make any repairs or give any concessions. So the as-is contract, while it's really great, it does, in times of volatility, it does allow buyers to get very cold feet quickly and to flee a transaction. And I saw some of those in the first quarter of 2026. And you see my enthusiasm levels went down a little bit because I lost a couple of them. I lost a couple of them where I was right there at the closing table and they got cold feet and they decided we're not doing a deal. And some of those same properties went back under contract and closed, and some of them have sat now. That is part of the market volatility, the instability, the gas prices, the conflict globally, the challenges that we're having here at home. You're seeing some of the supply slow down to balance out with the demand, and we don't know what that's going to do long term, if that's going to create a shortage down the road. Because we know that many people are still moving here to Florida. We know that it's a great place to live. We know that it's paradise. It's the reason that out of all the states in the United States, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. We love, love, love Florida, and we know that you will too. And lots of homes for sale here. But that said, anytime that there is volatility, it is something that people are talking about. And this is, for me, this volatility has brought me into a little bit of a different swing because I said, okay, now listen, we live in the Sunshine State. We live in Florida. I got my blue check mark on X. I'm considering moving. I want to move to Starlink from Xfinity. I hate Xfinity. I want to move to Starlink. And I want to get a Tesla, and I want to get I want to get solar. And I've been doing a little bit of the numbers, and I'm telling you this, with what I pay at the gas pump, driving a hybrid that gets 38 miles per gallon, by the way, what I pay at the gas pump every month, what I pay in car insurance, oil change, wear, tear, maintenance, car payment. I might have said insurance already. I don't know. And the other reason, so I want to reduce the expense, but the other thing is, I see the full self-driving, and I'm getting FOMO of it because I'm actually having to put my foot on the gas and the brake, and I'm having to actually use my brain to navigate a death missile through traffic. Man, that's what I said. I go, with this volatility, it's driving me to go like this. I want to get a Tesla. I want to get solar panels. I want to get off the grid. I want to reduce my expense. I want to become energy independent. You know, we talk about it as a country. What are you doing individually to become energy independent? We don't have any solar this summer when the hurricanes come and knock down our power lines. We're not going to have solar. We got to start thinking about that. So that's where the volatility's got me thinking, because I'm rooted here. I'm staying here, baby. I'm staying here. I'm in Lehigh Acres. I'm in East Lee County. I'm the highest elevation in the county. It's why they call it Lehigh Acres, baby. I'm over 20-foot elevation. So as the beautiful Gulf of Mexico and the beautiful Atlantic Ocean slowly swallow up the peninsula of Florida, I'm going to be high and dry, baby. I'll be here. My name is Adam, and I do title, and I'm in the house. So if you're buying, selling, building, refinancing, hey, if you're doing a deal in Florida, tag in your boy, Adam at titleadam.com. It's 239-888-5757. I think I've told you, if I've done a good job, I've told you who I am. I've told you where I live. I told you what I do. I told you why you should hire me. And I should tell you when I'm available, and that's when you need me. Now, one of the things I know I have on my competition, and I say it just about every time I turn this microphone on, is that I am available, I am qualified, and I am a market expert as well as a marketing expert. I've got you covered 7 ways to Sunday, baby. I am local, licensed, lethal. I'm doing the damn thing. Let's do business together. Call me. Let's meet up. Come see me at my office. I'm on a little bit of a rant tonight, but generally speaking, I can be direct and to the point. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for giving me some time. Oh, there was one thing that I wanted to talk about. I can't believe I hadn't even brought this up yet. And I'll leave you. We'll actually play you out with a. I got this piece of equipment. This is called an Akai MPK4 MIDI keyboard, and it hooks into the computer just like I was showing you there. And I've made a SoundCloud account. So I've been making, because basically what happened was when I got monetized, I started getting copyright strikes where they said, you can't use cool music anymore. You're not allowed to do that because now you're monetized. And the people that own that music don't want you using it for your stupid video. So what I did was I got the Akai and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to create my own music for my background. And I play guitar. And I can hum, and I know a little bit about music, and I can pick around on the piano just a little bit. So I said, I want to take a look. And it was $100, and Jade got it for me. And I love it. And I set up a little SoundCloud account, so I'd like for you to go there and check it out. But I put together 10 little beats that I put out right now. And we got, Duck Barrel, Lazy Woodpecker, 16-bar backache. We did Growing Pains. We did Saturday Night Special. We did Garden Fresh. We Oughta. And I'm trying to think of what the other one was, but I got to tell you, I'm having such a ball with it. And it's hard to do. And a lot of people say, well, if you're, that's not playing an instrument. And the thing is that it's still creative output. And I would encourage anyone that's got that kind of spark that likes to do that kind of stuff, just do it and have fun with it. This is one little life that we're getting to live, and it goes by in such a blink. So let's have some fun. I'd like to share with you a quote that I heard, and I've used it a lot this week, so I thought I'd share it with you. Your death will come on an ordinary day among unfinished business, and the world will move on. So live a little. My name is Adam, and I do title. They call me Title Adam, and I love it. I'm a lucky guy. Have a great night.